Hey friends, you ever hear of the nyctophobic teddy bear? Well, if not, you're going to have to stay tuned because I'm going to tell you more about that and a great encouragement from 2 Corinthians chapter 1 in just a moment. Hey, well, thanks so much for tuning back in. Before I tell you about the nyctophobic teddy bear, I'm going to read to you from 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 3 through 4. We read in verse 3, "Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion and the God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive from God." So, in this verse, we find some incredible truths that I think are very important for us as we continue to trust God in the middle of a global pandemic and the lockdowns and everything like that. And the first principle that I want to tell you that we read here is that He is sufficient for you. In this passage, Paul tells the Corinthians that God is the God of all comfort. So no matter what you could possibly be going through, He is sufficient for you. Now let me tell you about that nyctophobic teddy bear. When I was young, I was terrified of the dark. Nyctophobia is a fear of the dark. I was terrified of the dark. And one night, my dad came into the room and he said, "You need to go to sleep. It's time to go to sleep." And I said, "I'm trying." And he said, "You're not still scared, are you?" And I said, No, I'm not scared at all." And he said, "Well then, what's the matter?" I said, "My teddy bear is scared." He goes, "Your teddy bear is scared?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, tell your teddy bear to stop being scared and to go to sleep." And I said, "I did." And he said, "And what happened?" I said, "He won't listen." It's a funny story about a nyctophobic teddy bear. But I want to tell you a little bit about this phobia I had. I was scared of the dark, but I was always reassured by the fact that it was going to get light again. The sun is going to come up. It's not going to burn out on us. It is totally sufficient to light our day today, tomorrow, and 30 years from now. Just like the sun will always be available to provide light no matter how dark our situation might seem, Paul tells these Corinthians that our God is the God of all comfort. He is sufficient for you. There is nothing you will ever go through that He will not be sufficient for. So He is sufficient for you, but Paul also says He will sustain you. He says He will comfort you in all your troubles. And this is the reality of what we're facing today. Whatever your trouble is, whether it's financial, whether it's health, whether it's emotional, whatever your trouble is, He will sustain you. That's the promise that we read in this passage. So He is sufficient for you. He will sustain you. But also, third, He wants to shine through you. Paul tells these Corinthians that we are to comfort others with the comfort that we have received from God. So He is sufficient for you. He will sustain you, but He also wants to shine through you. He wants others to be comforted with His comfort, which He has given to you. So whatever you're going through right now, I want to encourage you to have an outward focus, to realize that there are a lot of people all around you that are hurting and desperate, and they need the comfort that you've experienced from God. So I beg you, share your faith with them. Reach out on social media. Reach out in other opportunities as you have them, and let people know the God that has comforted you. I encourage you to continue to dig into His Word, to be comforted, because He is the God of all comfort. He is sufficient for you, He will sustain you, and He wants to shine through you. Thanks so much for tuning in to this Bible Byte. Definitely subscribe to the Great Commission Alliance Media channel on YouTube, and keep getting encouragements like this one. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you again next time.